Hola, hola. Welcome to session 2 of our Fate Space with Mechs, etc., etc., etc. campaign. I need to jump into chat. Greetings. Right. I have returned. The music is bumping, as it does. Everything is spicy and juicy and absolutely wonderful. All right. So the thing I brought up prior to stream, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We will say you guys are on a planet, and this planet will be called La Rianca. La Rianca.
Ah, my favorite.
The best planet. All right. And on this planet, we're doing some shopping. As I mentioned, you guys did so well in our last little escapade that you guys have a little bit of extra spending money. And the thing we're going to basically do here is money is abstracted, of course. So you guys can go to any stall, any person. If you're looking for something weird, Nara, that's where that networking skill would come into play, of course.
Oh, I'm going.
But basically, we find
somewhere weird.
said person. We roll resources. And remember, you can roll from the Fate Hoo-Ha tab, level 0. Wow. Perfectly balanced. I'm essentially giving you guys some points to begin with. As I mentioned, because you guys did so well, you already have some points. Don't think if you roll a 2, that's actually pretty damn good because you all got some money on you. Obviously, most of it goes to the Kabuto, repairing things, blah, 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 getting new ammo and whatnot. But this is basically your chance to get a new item. So, Ryder, last week you wanted boosters basically for your suit. The main reason I said no was because that's technically an extra. As I mentioned before, I'm totally cool with the quantum backpack, quantum item of just like, I have this thing, but it's not fun to have everything on you all the time because then there's no tension. So basically, let's use that money to purchase a thing. And sort of like I was telling Nara, rather than, oh man, where's the item list? There isn't one. What do I purchase? Instead, think of
the item list.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, do this. Say, what do I want my character to be better at? Or what am I not that great at that I could be better at? Or what's something really niche that I think would be really useful? So the more niche the thing, the better it's going to be. So no, you cannot just get a gun that gives you +2 to shooting all the time. That's boring. You can't just buy armor. You can, but we're not.
A gun that gives me +5.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not fun in this game just to keep stacking numbers because eventually you're just gonna hit a wall, a ceiling basically, and then that's it for your character. So you want more.
Roll again? What's the highest you can roll?
The highest you can roll is 4.
What's the highest you can get?
But the highest you can get would be 4 + 8, which would be 12. So in this game, the current ceiling is +4. So in our game, the highest you can get is an 8 because currently Georgiana has a 4 in pilot, and theoretically she could roll a 4, which would be an 8. Technically, a stat can literally go forever in this game. There's no ceiling. We make the ceiling based off of the feel we're going for. You know what I mean? So currently at our level, 4 is the cap, but mainly because you guys literally can't get higher than 4 because we need more stats, which is why we're leveling. So basically you tell me where you guys want to go, who you want to talk to, what you want to do. This will be relatively quick and then we'll go on to our next bounty mission. But for this one, we're just purchasing something. So it can be really vague. We're going to add it to the extras tab, which would be the second tab, the first tab. And then the second one says description, biography, and extras. And at the bottom it says extras. So that's where we're going to put it. It's basically a passive item that's always active. You can think of it similar to a stunt, except you don't got to pay for it. It's just kind of there.
I want to buy rocket boots.
One of my rocket boots. And what will these rocket boots do? Mechanically.
They allow me to fly around for short periods of time.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and say that. So you can say, Ryder, I believe you should be able to add this yourself. So under extras, if we just hit plus, it might. Let me do it for you real quick and see what happens. Oh, it just says new extra. Ha! Okay. Oh, there we go. Edit. Okay. There we go. So the edit's a little weird. Don't mess with it too much. Unless you want me to play with it digitally, I can definitely do that for you. Don't have it necessarily do anything, but what we can say is you now have sort of jet boosters that you can control and you can move around with, etc., etc. In terms of their quality, so mechanically, what they'll do is obviously if there's a hole or something you need to jump over, you can just and then shoot your jetpack will just get you over. If it's a small gap. If it's something that, you need to get a running start on, I'll probably ask you to do athletics and give you a +2 because you need to athletic your way over there and then jump. So it'll give you +2 in more harrowing moments. Otherwise, you can clear small things you don't need to worry too much about. Or maybe if you're falling and you're trying to get control of yourself and stop your fall, I'll give you a +2 to that. So effectively, that's what those will do. And they're not super fast, so you can't just like buzz past everybody. And effectively, whatever you guys want, like I said, if you want to roleplay you purchasing it, you can. You don't have to. You can just tell me what item you want now. Go ahead and roll, when you want something, roll me a resources and see how well you do. If you do really, really well, I might let you get 2 items. If you just do pretty good, I'll let you push the item and make it a little bit better.
I think I did it right.
That looks like rocket boots. Yep, fly for a short period of time. Perfect. So when we edit it, look at it. It doesn't really do anything.
I didn't
really want it to.
else.
That's perfectly fine. Overcome. These would basically be primarily used for overcome, which is perfectly fine. Permissions, costs. Doesn't really cost you anything. I don't really want it to. Include it in a skill calculation. Not currently, no. Aspects, concepts. Perfect. Awesome. So extras can get really insane. They basically allow Fate to beat any other game if you want to steal a mechanic from a game. But we're going to keep it relatively simple for now. Just sort of niche scenarios and little things you want. We were discussing about an item, Nara. Did you kind of figure out what you wanted?
So, I think a couple of things. I maybe want... You know, I'm not sure how to present it, but I know that I have like an existing database.
Okay.
And I maybe want to pick up like more things to add to my database. Does that make sense?
It does.
Like
so when you say
like
database,
a library.
do you mean on people or on stuff?
On people.
Okay. So we can say you purchase maybe a black market or an extended black book or something. I'm not sure which one to call it. You can get flowery with the language. Basically whatever makes you happy as long as you mechanically know what it does. We can say that if you're not necessarily asking for information, but maybe if you're looking into something, whether you're hacking into a console or you're sneaking into someone's the back end of their system, maybe I'll give you a +2 when looking for information specifically on people.
Okay.
And if you want to add that to the name of the extra, you can. If you don't know where that tab is, let me know and I'll direct you to it.
Where's the tab?
So you see where it says aspect on your character?
Mm-hmm.
You see above that how there's like a clipboard where it says character sheet when you hover over it? The second one says description, biography, and extras. At the very bottom, the tab extras is there, and there's a link called new extra. At the very right of new extra, there's a little pen. You click that, it'll open up an edit page, and then there you can rename it to whatever you want.
So what are we calling it?
Whatever you want to call it.
Extended database?
Sure. And then I would put maybe extended database people. Like I said, it can be flowery, it can be mechanical, I don't care.
I'll do people. I'll just say people because I personally believe that my database on machines and things like that are much larger
Agreed.
than anything else. Is it only the one thing that we can do?
Well, if you roll resources and you roll really well, I might let you get 2 things, especially if they're not that good.
Okay. So, wait, did that add? Did it add?
To do what? You have extended database people.
All right. Why wouldn't it let me close it?
Not sure.
How bizarre.
Definitely weird. Yeah, definitely weird.
Oh my god, it won't go away. That's
A +2.
Weird.
When looking for info on people. It's nice and simple. But,
and then I also wanted maybe some parts that I can't
normally get.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me resources and we'll see what you can get.
All right, let me bring my character up. Sorry.
You also don't have to decide now.
Lollipop machine.
We can we can come with it later. This is mostly a somewhat current niche. Jesus. Okay. Yes, you can come up with another low to medium, however you want, powered item that will assist you in X, Y, and Z.
I want... I rolled better than I thought it would.
I want the whole world.
I want the whole world. I guess I wanted, like... maybe... tools to do... like, very small mechanic work.
Sure. Mechanically, what do you want that to do for you?
For, like, upgrades.
Sure. We can say that they, so you're able to tinker with and upgrade mechanical things, and not necessarily the longer you spend with it, the better it is, but you need to spend a reasonable amount of time tinkering with said thing to do whatever you're trying to do.
So, because I was thinking about this because of the compulsive tinkerer thing, and I would want to be able to kind of do that at will. Like, make small upgrades to things.
Yeah. So, technically in Fate, y'all can do anything. The most important question is...
what does it do?
Yes, I guess the boring part, what's it doing? So mechanically, what's it doing for your character? In the fiction, I don't care what y'all do. As long as it makes you happy, great. But, like, numbers-wise, what's happening? So you get a +2 during what? You get a bonus during this or during that. So that's the most important thing.
I want to create short-term upgrades for other people.
Okay.
Not necessarily for myself. But I'm not really sure how it would work though in terms of like a fight situation.
So I'm trying to mentally parse this out. So the main thing with Nara is like, sorry, go on. Oh no, I was trying to see if we didn't. Okay. So currently crafting. There we go. You can use craft to create something to create an advantage for your allies. So your crafts already does that. So if you roll create an advantage with crafts, that already happens. You could make a stunt that says whenever I use crafts to create an advantage for my friends doing blah, it's either more effective in this aspect or in that aspect. And then maybe these tools let you do it faster. So it would play into your the stunt that you don't have yet that we're trying to word properly. Let's see. Currently, where is it? Okay. So when you create an advantage and succeed with style, you can say whenever, specifically, whenever you create an advantage with crafts and succeed with style, rather than creating an aspect with 2 free invokes, you can create an aspect with 3 free invokes, which is a lot of invokes. That's a lot.
Nice. But yeah, no, I mean, that would be the end goal there.
And then you can have like crafty tools, so you can add that. And maybe you can just phrase the tools that basically say whenever you use crafts to create an advantage, you can just we can do it quicker. So like within reason. So extras aren't supposed to be too strong. They're supposed to just be something nice. So like within reason, you can say like maybe if you're like, oh my god, like you're under peril or something, or you would normally need to overcome something because you're like wrapped up. Maybe the tools are like, I don't know, smaller or something, so it enables you to like get in there quicker. So
okay, I'm not sure what I would call that.
We'll figure it out. You can name it something boring for now.
Okay. Something boring.
Yeah. You can say advanced tools, and then we can think of a cool thing later. We'll just change it.
All right. Oh my god, it's doing that thing again. But it's fine.
Okay, so let's say I'll call it Crafty Helper. Your Nani? Did not save? What? I just typed that whole thing I didn't say. Oh, there's a save button, you dingus.
What happened?
I typed the whole thing I didn't save because I'm an idiot.
Bad.
Oh my god. I just typed a whole thing and now I'm sad. Okay. The other two. Do you know what you want?
No idea.
Okay. We can think of it later. Not a big deal. So the main thing is, when you succeed with style using crafts to... Yeah, it's not. It's a keyword. Alright, there's a save button. Make sure you click it. There we go. Crafty helper. Cool. Roll. Wow. There we go.
All right.
Yes, the main point of extras and other things is basically for you, because you personally want something. So if you can't think of something, that's perfectly fine. If you can't think of something, just because you do want something but can't think of that precise thing, we'll figure it out later. Not a huge deal. Alrighty. For the time being, are we done tinkering with all this? If we're moving on, let me know, and we'll scoot on over to today's mission.
Yeah.
All right, then. All right, we will say, while venturing and sort of hanging out on Larianka, it's a very large trade planet. As with others, they're very much used to their constant influx and outflux of people coming and going. This is basically a trade capital. It's less of a planet and more of a, traditionally, it's more hollowed out. It's maybe closer to the size of a moon, realistically. People call it the trade planet anyway. In its hollowed out nature, sort of take like an apple and keep most of the outside, but just like take chunks out of it on the inside. So you basically hollow out the apple and then like craft buildings out of the inside of the apple jutting outwards toward the center. Is effectively what this thing looks like. So you kind of fly in through like one of the various holes, and this whole thing is basically like take a city and just like flip it inside out inside of a circle. Is what this thing looks like. And that way they can be fairly well defended, because there's only, so many entrances and exits. People don't just like nuke them from space from a distance. Also for defensive purposes. Alright, but now that we have all of our items and such, you guys actually got, we'll say less of a hail, and Nara, you've set something up on the Kabuto to effectively pick up various bounties and various fixins that are interesting to you and your crew.
Not like official channels, or is it just
not really official? No, maybe some people, their requests are either too lowbrow or yeah, maybe they're leaning more towards the illegal side, or sometimes they're just leaning towards no one's gonna pay for this, what? Or it just sounds too ridiculous.
Gotcha.
But because you guys need money, who doesn't need money? We got to keep the ship
I've got
going.
Work to do on this ship.
You
I've
got
work
to
do.
The Kabuto literally eats credits and any valuable resources in order to keep flying. So if you don't want to be stranded in the middle of space, because that would be absolutely horrendous. But fortunately, you guys do have a dope engine, so that lets you guys cheat a little bit. But you basically keep this line always open, Nara, we'll say. And while you guys are flying about, you do get a message from a certain individual that maybe you're instantly going to write off until you listen for a bit, and they seem to be a farmer. And this person says they lost one of their stock, effectively, and they want help getting it back, and they're willing to pay very well. And until they mentioned the amount of credits, you were about to basically flip to the next one, but the number has piqued your interest.
I say, that's suspicious as hell. And then I transfer the audio file to Ryder.
Do I see how much it says?
It's a pretty penny. It's enough credits to get you guys by for a little while, at least a week without needing to worry that much, and you'll have some fun spending money on the side.
And the mission is.
The mission is
deceptively easy.
Deceptively easy, which is why most people are ignoring it. It is quite literally, I lost one of my flock. I need help getting it back.
Do they say what the flock is?
No, which is why people, you think, Nara, people are not looking at this job for that specific reason, but maybe that makes it more interesting.
Hey, Nara, how far is that away? from us.
Can I pinpoint where it's coming from?
You can. Also, side note, in moments like these, so if Ray says, how far away is it? You can make something up, Nara. I don't care. As long as it keeps you in character.
In space, right?
Right, it's in space. So you can make up like, it's 8 parsecs, whatever you want to say. It's perfectly, So
do we do like warp jumps or anything like that?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I say it's 4 jumps away.
Yeah. So faster than light travel is definitely a thing here. Otherwise, we'd be stuck to local space.
Yeah. I say it's about 4 jumps, 4.5 jumps or so.
I mean, it looks easy. It's not too far away. Hey, Gigi.
Yeah?
Set of courses, easy job. We'll take care of it really fast. I'm gonna take a nap.
All right. Coordinates are set.
All right, coordinates set. Gigi's at the hole. Aldous, what are you doing in the meantime? Mr. Birdman.
Trying to modify different things to just make them magic powered.
Excellent. Anything in particular?
I'm just testing on like pistols right now.
Nice. I try to make them shoot like a certain elemental blasts or...
Yeah, just like a bunch of different things.
Very
like
cool,
maybe
very
one
cool.
is like gravity bullets, makes it harder for people to move.
I like that. I did
like
mention AoE does exist in Fate in the basic rules, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just double checking because you tried that one
I
time.
have
I'm
to
like,
read it again.
I don't know how it works. Basically, you just split it. So for shits and giggles, go ahead and roll me a lore. Just throw one out there. One of your attacks. That is really high, and that's absolutely perfect. So let's say you're shooting at Georgiana and Nara right now. You could distribute that +6 any way you wanted. So you could say 3 at Georgiana and 3 at Nara, or 5 and 1, or 4 and 2, etc., etc. So they both have to overcome that same roll.
Nice.
It's just you only get one roll. They each get one roll to beat your roll cut in half. So, and you can split this at, you could literally shoot a +1 at 6 dudes if you wanted. Rules as written, and that's perfectly fine. They're probably all going to succeed. You don't want to do that, but you're more than welcome to like, I hurt all of them. You can totally do that. So
I just gotta roll an 8.
You got to roll an 8. Yeah, that is one nice thing about the system is I forgot that was even a rule. So, yay, reading.
So Georgiana is setting course, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I head into the, what is it, the cockpit?
Sure.
Is that what
Bridge.
the bridge?
Either or.
I haven't watched, I would say more a bridge. I haven't watched Star Trek in a while, so.
Okay. So I head over to Georgiana and I'm like, something about this sounds a little fishy. Keep an eye out.
All right, will do.
And then I go to my cabin and see what I can find out using my nice new extended database.
All right.
Wow. I'll wake up from my nap and pop a brewski.
Excellent. I will say, are you trying to look up this planet, this location, trying to figure things out ahead of time?
I'm looking at the location,
Okay.
at the kind of fauna that's usually there. Is the name of the person who's hiring us on the message?
Yes.
So I'm gonna look into him, and if there isn't a lot on him or her or them, I'm gonna see if there's like, whispers about them at all. Like if
Sure. Go ahead and roll me. I just said it a second ago, didn't I? Well, I said in this game. We just said it. Networking, right?
Yeah.
Where's networking? Networking was called contacts. We changed to networking. Okay, no wonder I can't find it. Yeah, so go ahead and roll networking.
Okay.
Woo! Juicy. Okay. Oh, you rolled. Oh my God, you rolled 4 +1s. Holy shit.
Oh,
That's insane.
nice.
Okay, plus your extended database that gives you an absolutely ridiculous amount of information. All right, you accidentally pull up, so you kind of put an inquiry out of like, hey, does anyone know anyone on this planet? Blah blah blah. You do know the name of the planet is Hamar, so HI Hamar, name of the planet. It is relatively rocky, and the more you look into it, it's the weathers are we'll say necessarily not really suited for farming per se. And the
so
planet
it's kind
is
of weird that there's stock animals.
A little.
Unless they're not animals.
Unless they're not animals. This is incorrect. And when you kind of put your feelers out, you get way more information than you're expecting. You get like, all these people respond to you and are like, oh yeah, I know this person, this person, this person, this person. And you think you maybe went a little too far because you're getting this like, oh yeah, my aunt, my kid, my like dog. And you're like, whoa, what the hell? Like, why?
Yeah, all right. Now I got to sift through this.
It's almost useless information, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But while digging through it, you do indeed learn the name of the person, and you kind of match up their name to maybe what the job might be. The person's name is Doria. Doria Warders.
Okay. Does Doria have a business of any kind?
Yes, actually.
That I can trace?
You discover, Nara, that Doria Warders is actually a technician similar to yourself, and they specialize in robotics. Specifically, robotic animals.
Oh my god, I've been looking for a robotic animal. Literally. Good. That's why I got my advanced tools.
Perfect.
Well, that's not why, but, I was thinking about it.
I mean, it helps.
I like to think about stuff like that. Like,
you learn that she's somewhat eccentric. She doesn't really have a business per se, although don't tell her that. She'll probably say, no, of course I have a business. It's definitely more so one of those kind of like, sure, why not kind of ordeals. Oops. So a lot of the information and whatnot that you've gotten from other people effectively says that, yeah, I mean, they do business. They do what they do, but
is it like shady business?
Not shady, no. It's just like, what are they doing? Like, where are they getting this money from? Why are they doing what they're doing? Is more so people's
personally, as somebody who was part of a syndicate, I think that's a little suspicious. But go on.
Oh yeah, and that's just it. You learn that people think this person is somewhat suspicious, but maybe more so because they're quote unquote weird, and not because they're shifty.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there.
Yeah, it's closer to that.
So I try to compile the most relevant bits of information.
Okay.
And then I want to send them to each of the crew members.
All right.
And I'm like, make sure you look at this.
Everyone's little digipad is upgraded and uploaded with information that is now relevant.
Look at my new database.
It is very well organized.
All right.
Maybe someone's dog snuck in there, and you're like, why is it dog? What?
So in terms of the climate, what is it like? You said it's rocky, not really farming.
Right. There is definitely some dirt, sand, and such. But from what you can gather, it's not necessarily suited for traditional farming, so you're not really sure what they farm exactly. Or if they farm at all. Maybe they just don't know what farming means. So maybe not worth questioning. Who knows?
But it's habitable.
It's habitable, of course.
Okay. All right.
But all the same, the weather isn't absurdly hot, not absurdly cold. It's a good like 60, 70
pretty
almost all the time. It's very, very, very mild temperatures.
Okay.
The winds can get pretty heavy, actually. Nothing that hits up to tornadoes, maybe because there's lots of divots, there's lots of hills, there's lots of mountains and such. So that prevents tornadoes from forming, but the winds can do pretty heavy damage all the same.
I'm gonna pack my climbing gear.
Okay.
For extra purchase.
Sounds like a good idea.
Just in case.
All right, as we are arriving to Hamar, would anyone else like to prepare anything?
Climbing gear sounds good.
Okay. Bird has acquired ice cream. That's not fair.
So who is Doria Warders again?
They're
the person that knows about the
I sent
bounty?
you the file.
Yeah, they are the person that put out the help quest.
Oh, they are the person that we're
They are the person. They're a self-proclaimed farmer. They didn't leave much more than that.
Wonderful. Wonderfully suspicious.
Yes. And there are people living on this planet. This person is not alone. There are many other people here, fortunately.
What does the planet look like?
Pretty much what I described before. Mostly rocks.
Okay. Like the whole thing is?
Yeah, there are some plants, but they're
for a landing.
The whole place. Yeah, there are some plants and such, but they are very deserty in nature.
Okay.
So dull greens, a lot of browns, things that would survive on a planet such as that.
Okay, gotcha.
So almost the opposite of what you consider you would assume a farmer would land on. More suspicious? Maybe. More interesting? Maybe.
Definitely more interesting.
But as you are nearing the location, Georgiana, you may land as you will. There's a strip for you. You guys can just float around in space and then, send a small ship down wherever you want to park your kabuto.
I say we land.
All right, I find a nice flat space and land.
All right, you guys break through the atmosphere and such, and doesn't really offer too much resistance. No one hails you, so you can tell this is a somewhat backwater planet where you don't necessarily need to really worry about any sort of military force or anything of that nature. Which is nice and reassuring.
I'm certainly not reassured.
All right. And as you guys land, almost immediately you're buffeted by fairly strong winds. They're relatively sandy, so
I'm prepared.
Facing into the wind is extremely ill-advised, as you'll get a mouth and eyes full of sand.
Yum.
Well, now, how far are we from this person's place?
As you look about and check the information that Nara sent you, you can actually tell that this person was relatively detailed in the sense of what they do and do not wish to share. So you know exactly where they're located. You know that you are, if you wish to walk there, at most it is a 5-minute walk. It is not very far away. You see various, looking up ahead before you guys landed, you can see that there's a small town, and then off the small town, there was what looked to be a ranch, and then a rather large barn, quote unquote. And most of it is built into the side of a mountain.
And you said stepping outside is pretty windy?
It's relatively windy, yeah. Not enough to knock you over, but it maybe gave you a little pause.
A lot of what?
Gave you pause.
Oh yeah, go flying.
Yeah, basically all just if you opened your wings, you would just instantly get lifted.
Away!
All right, you do
exactly
that.
What I do.
He just goes. You go straight up and looking down. It's actually quite nice up here. There's less sand to get open your creases, your bird creases and such. It feels much nicer up here. And as you look down, you can see that this town up ahead of you guys, the 5 or so minute walk, it kind of goes down a bit, and it's not in a crater necessarily, but it seems to look like a crater. You're not sure if this was made naturally or if this is something that was man-made. But going forward, the path seems to kind of taper down a bit, about a 45-degree angle, and there are various rocks and such to kind of overcrop this town that is down below. And then further away from that, you see Doria Warder's farm, if you will, and it's built into the side of the mountain. What were you asking, Nara?
We're just in our regular spacesuits, right? Not our.
I would assume so.
Okay.
You mean like
No, we come down in the mechs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Just let me know.
I'm not. Do I have to be in a spacesuit, or can I just be in my normal outfit?
Be regular outfit, whatever you guys want.
It's
Alright,
your
cool.
away team stuff. Gosh.
Gucci. All right, to Doria's house.
All right, the 4 of you head in, and you can tell that your clothes stand out just a little. You guys are more colorful and eccentric than most of the people here, and you actually do get a few looky-loos. Aldous, are you flying up above, or are you walking with everybody?
I would have come back down.
Okay. You, in particular, stand out the most. Unsurprising. You and Georgiana, of course.
Yeah.
And looking about, you can see that these are very hardworking people. Without needing to ask any questions, you can tell a lot of them are miners. They work with their hands primarily. You can see there are various tools and machines and such that would help them in this endeavor and in their jobs and their everyday life and such. There are some
How does this
automatons
look to
walking
me?
about.
How does this look to me?
You? What do you mean?
Do I like it?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. Do I?
I'm not Nara. I don't know.
Not
I mean,
yet.
is the tech that I'm seeing?
The tech is it's low tech, we'll say. It's not that they haven't gotten the memo. Yeah, it's not that they haven't gotten the memo, but it's just like they maybe either don't need it or can't afford it. So you're not necessarily sure what's going on the planet.
Beneath me, I move on.
Yeah.
Are these people that we're seeing, are they human-like or are they aliens?
There's a pretty healthy mixture. There actually aren't that many.
Are you gonna try to bang the aliens again?
No, I just want to know what kind of people we're dealing with.
Yes. So a lot of them are humanoid, but very few are human. Maybe less than 10% are actually human. Obviously, as per usual, you see an absolute rainbow of skin colors, multiple heads, arms, the whole kit and caboodle. For the most part, though, the most common typeface you see is they have like purplish skin, like a dull purple, and their skin is pulled very tight. Their head sort of
like Thanos.
No. Their head pulls backwards, sort of like a squid, but not like full on. Not like an alien from Alien, the xenomorph. It's a very light version of that. Very light version of that, where their heads are elongated, slightly sort of egg shape in a way. Their mouths are sort of an X that just kind of opens up whenever they speak. And rather than hands,
more grayish purple, then
it's more of a grayish purple, yeah. And then rather than hands, they are walking around on two legs, but their arms end in it almost looks like one like long tentacle. But when you sort of give them a look, they wave to you, and the tentacle splits into two tentacles, and then that waves at you. So you can tell that's how they grip things, and it's relatively long, so they can wrap around a tool or anything really, and get to work pretty quickly. They actually look very, very dexterous.
So they have two arms, but they're tentacle arms?
Yeah, they're two tentacle arms, and the tentacle splits into two tentacles.
Interesting.
And there's about 80% of that race. And then
with Nara's track record, she needs to stay away from tentacles.
Yes.
Yes.
Anything with
I think
grappling.
that's the wrong character, but
No, I'm just saying, in every game, she always gets mixed up with tentacles.
This is true.
nah. She'll be fine. Maybe.
Quickly erases tentacle-themed campaign. Sorry.
I don't know anything.
No more.
Tentacles, I'm sorry. Okay. But yes, moving around, no one stops you. You get a couple quick waves, but you maybe get the feeling they think you're either someone else or they're just not interested enough to say hello. After sort of walking through this town for maybe a minute or so, as I mentioned, it's about a 5 or so minute walk if you're just going at a healthy pace to get to Doria's place. People have basically lost interest. They'll look at you for a couple minutes, couple seconds. They get back to work. A lot of them are drinking. I'm not sure if it's an alcoholic beverage or not, but they seem to be about midday, either post-work or they're just not working today. Can't really tell. Mostly just hanging out. And then as we head forward, near the edge of this divot, this crater, if you will, you see Dorio Warder's place. And as I mentioned, it seems to be a farm, and in fact, a traditional earth farm, except it's made purely out of metal and stone. So there is no primarily metal, but there is indeed some stone, mainly because it's actually carved out of the side of the mountain that it's kind of built into.
So wait, what's in the farm?
You're not sure. You cannot tell. There is actually a range that is just completely empty, and then built into the wall is a barn that is at least 100 feet tall, maybe more. It's huge.
Can I go up to the house?
You can, yes. Do the four of you walk up to the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Upon walking to the house, before you're able to knock, the door swings open, and you see, presumably, Doria Warders, and she is smiling. She is one of the, we'll just say locals for now. She's one of those purple alien types. She kind of gives you a quick wave, and you hear her tentacles like kind of slap together. She goes, "Hi, greetings."
She's also a tentacle person.
Yes.
I presume you're Doria.
Oh, correct. Are you the four?
We are indeed. Saw your little message.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. You know, not many people have been answering it, and those that have, they just don't come back. It's a real damn shame. Would you like to come in?
They don't come back
come
as
back?
if like they do the mission and they disappear.
You want to come in?
Sure.
Excellent.
they sort of move to the side and kind of like, come on. And then looking in, it's a quite nice place. It's a little disorganized. Maybe she's a little scatterbrained because there's papers and such everywhere. There's random tools that are left where they shouldn't be. Looking inside, Nara, now your interest is piqued because the tech in here is much more to your liking. Aldris, same for you. You see various ship parts, tool parts, some weapons, but she's tried to keep it mostly probably in the back. Anything that's left out is just like incidental.
Hi.
And she goes, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Doria,
Yes.
cut it to us straight. What exactly are we doing?
Well, you see, I lost one of my livestock. I left the door open and it happened to sneak out. It happens sometimes, but he hasn't come back just yet.
What kind of livestock is this?
Well, what I call livestock and I believe what your kind calls livestock are two very, very, very different things. See, I create mine and they serve different purposes. So we'll just say they're my pets for now. And then as you look around, you actually see a small, like, little robotic, I want to say rat, but it's closer to a worm rat, kind of running around. It's kind of fat and long. It looks like a rat, but has 8 legs, and it's kind of skittering about. It like walks up a wall. It looks to you guys and goes like, dee, 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 and then like runs the other way.
So how big is your missing creature?
He's quite tall, a little taller than most, which is why most people don't really, they've been unable to assist me, I believe. It shouldn't be too hard, though. I mean, he just wandered back. All you need to do is capture him and just tell him to come on back.
What is he?
He's a bipedal creature who should have the ability to fly, but unfortunately, I haven't really nailed that out just yet. I'm still working on it.
Is he violent?
No. He's a good...
So non-hostile.
Non-hostile, correct. The main reason I believe people haven't really come to help is probably because we're in the middle of nowhere, and I might have been phrasing my my help wanted little thing wrong. I'm trying to think.
Money's right though, right?
Oh, of course.
And she actually quickly runs over to a desk and sort of opens it, pulls out a tablet, flips it around so she can click on things, and quickly turns it to you, and you can see maybe a little too much information, and then she flips it back real quick. But yeah, you see that the account that she's currently pulling out of is she's loaded for whatever reason.
Nice.
And Nara, you actually remember back that you might have accepted in the process of you networking. You got her current hail, which was maybe 5 or so minutes of her describing it, except when I said describing it, she was more rambling. You also picked up another one of her hails for assistance in capturing this creature. That was approximately 39 minutes long.
39 minutes.
You didn't listen to
the whole thing.
Okay. You might have. If you put it on fast
I
forward,
to put it on in the background like a podcast, and then realize I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, she never really got to the point. She kind of just went brrr the whole way through, and then maybe casually mentioned this thing, and then just kind of But as she flips it around and starts like preparing things for you, she kind of points to you guys, almost as to say, I have information. So with these notepads and such, people can send you information very quickly if you are a willing participant, of course, and it'll give you, whatever information you need.
So, super tall.
Yes.
Creature guy thing.
Cannot fly. Should not be able to fly.
Do you have a name for it?
Not a name, but I have a designation. Do you have a datapad ready to receive the information? It's not much, unfortunately.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So she types in a few things, and your datapad beeps, and the entity's name is a KE-51N. Just, I name all of my creatures. I should probably give them names, but until they succeed, they're not worthy of a name, I believe.
Okay, all right.
And she smiles, question mark, and then nods and says, primarily what I need you to do is just wrangle him back. He can be a little ornery, but I wouldn't call him violent. He just doesn't listen very well, is my problem.
May I ask,
you may.
What sort of creature is this?
As I mentioned, it's a bipedal...
Right, is it an existing species with enhancements?
No.
Or is it like a robot?
Yes, correct. Completely by my own design.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Correct.
Not an AI. He doesn't run. He runs under a pre-programmed loop, which, well, I sort of fear for his general safety. If he's out for too long, I don't want him to bump his little head. He's kind of dumb, I'll say. He's not very intelligent. He tends to bump his head on things pretty frequently.
I said, whereabouts is he on this planet?
He should be to the north of here, I believe.
So he doesn't have any like tracking on him at all?
He might have rubbed it off, but when I last checked, he escaped from the barn, which he points to. You guys know it's outside. You actually see a door that links through this room over to the barn. Last I left it open, he was grazing for a little while, and then he kind of just started walking, and I couldn't get him to turn around. I asked him really nicely, and he just wouldn't listen.
So, question for
Answer?
you.
Yes.
Why is it you can't go and get him? Like, why do you need help getting him is my question.
I'm really busy with my research.
Just
Come on, Captain, that should be
not
obvious.
For
that
what?
dangerous.
I wouldn't say dangerous. Like I said, he's not violent, just ornery. It's similar to you Earth folk have that little small furry creature with the tail and the little ears.
We have lots of those.
Cat?
Oh, yes, that one.
A
The
dog?
cat.
Oh,
The cats. Yeah, they don't listen very much, do they?
No.
No.
That's kind of their appeal, though.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
I like them.
Which I fully understand. The dog one listens a lot more, from what I've gathered in my research. But the little cat one it just kind of does its own thing. Think of it like a big cat that can't fly. They don't fly, right?
No, they don't.
Most of the time.
Yet.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, excellent. Traditionally, I would like it to eventually fly, but currently it cannot. It also
So,
most likely won't respond
non-flying
non-flying, yes. Yeah, so he shouldn't have escaped the atmosphere or anything. You don't need to worry about that. And like I mentioned, he's dumb and large. I painted him white and orange, so he should stand out pretty much. A lot of the rocks and stones here are gray and dark gray.
7 feet.
He isn't aggressive, right?
No, just ornery.
Is he taller than 7 feet?
Yes, like I said, he's a little tall.
All right. Well, ornery implies he's going to fight back. So, what's the best way to handle?
Oh,
him?
no.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Georgiana. He actually has a shut-off switch on the back of his head. If you hold his neck still, and he has a little there's sort of a switch, and she starts fumbling around while she's just mumbling and saying the same thing over and over. And she knocks something over and doesn't really pay any mind. And then she bumps something else and goes, oh, shoot. And then she flips something and says, here, okay. And then she hands out a chip to whoever will take it.
Sure.
I grab it.
Okay. She hands it to both Ryder and Georgiana. Just kind of lets it go and hopes when he grabs it. All right, Georgiana grabs it. It says, if you can just insert this into the back, it should be able to override him and bring him home. Currently, he's running off of a program that tells him to do certain things. This will tell him to stop doing those things and come back.
Oh, which part of the back?
Back of his head. Just hold his neck and then put it in the back of his head, and he should just immediately, not necessarily listen to you, but he'll just come straight home.
Okay.
I really should have had this built into him and just be able to program it, but I kind of want to see how he would play out, but then I realized I can't get data when he's not here. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Very unfortunate.
Can we get
We'll
going?
get him in a jiffy. Shouldn't take us too long.
Oh yeah, should be quite. Realistically, like I said, it should be quite easy. I'm wondering if I'm maybe too verbose with my speech, which is why people haven't really arrived until now. I'm really happy to see you all. And she tries to smile, but like I said, their mouths are basically like X's, and they kind of like when they open, and she's just like lined with teeth. So it's less of a smile, and more of like it kind of just opens up, and you see a whole bunch of little sharp teethies.
I can't look away. I'm just kidding.
Mario, I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
You hired the best.
Oh,
all right?
did I?
So, you'll have no problem with getting your K15L whatever
Okay.
back. Don't worry. We got him.
I really do appreciate it. When you bring him back, well, realistically, I guess he'll bring himself back if everything works out properly. He should just go straight into his little barn area, and then I'll pay you all.
Sounds good. We'll see you back soon.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you. And then she waves very excitedly as you all head out.
All right, gang. Well,
Unless you guys have any questions for her. Did anyone have any other questions?
I mean, is there anything we need to watch out for?
When you say that, she thinks for a moment and says, there are some hostile features on the planet, but I mean, Mr. Ryder, if you're the best, there shouldn't be any problems, right?
Actually, I think I would know about any of the hostile creatures.
Yes, there are various. They look similar to
Nara, can you
stingrays.
Can you download some research on this planet to see what kind of creatures there are?
Already done.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I sent everybody a file.
From what you can see, Nara. Well, yeah, you did technically send them a file. They are very similar to stingrays. They are the same color as the rocks. Unfortunately, they'd like to hide, and unfortunately, when their prey gets close, they tend to very quickly jump off, latch on, and eat.
Excellent.
Yes. So somewhat dangerous, but as long as you defend yourselves, you should be fine.
Said so. Sand stingrays.
Effectively, sand stingrays. Yes. They usually hide amongst the rocks, though. There are also others.
I'm not trying to be Crocodile Dundee right now, so.
Nope. Hard to be safe.
All right. Well, we head in the general direction that she told us.
All right. As the four of you head outward, you don't see any tracks from the creature, so you're not exactly sure how long it's been since it's been missing. But Nara, judging based off of the various notes you've taken, you can tell that it's maybe been missing a little longer than a week, which is unfortunate, but makes sense, judging all the information that you've been able to pick up from this. So I'll go ahead and put her back here for now.
Can we go to her barn before we head out real quick?
To the barn?
Like where he was staying, the robot guy.
Yeah, of course.
Is it a robot or is it like robot with like...
No, she said it's purely robot. Purely robotic.
Pure robot, okay.
Yeah, pure robot. It's not an animal that was turned like half robot. It's purely mechanical.
You know I love purely mechanical things.
Yeah.
Am I able to like look for like anything in the barn that might give me a clue of like what happened to him, like why he just kind of wandered off?
From what she said,
like
she
maybe
literally
there's like a loose wire on the floor or something.
Looking about as the doors swing open, she did allow you guys access. You look about a bit and you can see that it most likely just got out. Now there's a whole bunch of animals in cages. Some are just walking around. They seem to be contained to the inside of the barn. Like I mentioned, the height is about 100 or so feet. So there's multiple floors. And looking about, you can see various locations where certain animals would be kept. Animals, won't use that term lightly, I guess. They're effectively just machines that are following a set program. You actually did see some grazing. You see somewhere digging and such, but there's nothing necessarily out of place. You're thinking she just maybe, slipped her mind and the creature escaped.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. To the field.
All right. You all begin to head forward. And we leave the warder's estate in the dust. You guys walk for about 5 or so minutes, and the hum of the city, of the little town behind you, sort of fades. And all you can hear now is just the wind just hitting the rock at the perfect angle. It's actually quite nice to listen to. Sometimes it hits like certain holes and such, almost as if it's whistling. And you will go further and further and further in. And you begin to look around a bit. From the distance, Ryder, you can actually see some of these creatures that were mentioned sticking to the side of a mountain, but you don't need to go that way. So you kind of just ignore those. But you keep a track note of that is indeed what they look like. They are maybe 4 feet wide. Varies anywhere from 3 to 5 feet, but on average about 4 feet wide. Their wingspan, that is. So if one were to jump on you, it could basically completely engulf you and just start nomming on your face. So as long as it doesn't get on you, you're fine. If it does get on you, ow.
It's slightly big.
Slightly large, yes. But once they reveal themselves, they do fortunately stick out quite a bit. For tracking this creature, are the 4 of you going to use any skills or do anything in particular?
I don't really have a lot.
Yeah, I kind of don't think I'm much of a tracker.
So
I'm assuming it doesn't have a tracker on it.
No, she said she should have put one, but did not.
What if...
Can we scan for anything metallic?
Yeah.
I feel like that'll get a lot more than just the thing we're looking for.
You definitely can.
What would even be like a roll?
We
for,
know
like,
the general size of it, right?
Around, yeah.
Can I like surveil my surroundings to see if I can see? I know it's been like a week or so, but like any kind of signs that he's been through here.
Yeah. So when you're looking around and checking, that would be notice. If you're looking at a particular something like a footprint, that would be an investigate roll. So if you want to roll notice, you're more than welcome to. Nice. All right. Does anyone else want to assist with this? Looking for anything in particular, or are you just kind of keeping your eyes out?
I guess I'm gonna. I'll. Can I scan the environment generally?
Yeah,
Just
we'll say that's also a notice roll.
All right.
Unless you want to maybe use your crafts to like maybe send out a drone or something, or
Yeah, I could do that.
okay,
A small drone
sure.
with my advanced tools.
I don't see why not. So you're able to kind of throw that together relatively quickly. Depending on how well you roll, the results will come back obviously slower than a standard notice roll, as the creature needs to float around and come back to you.
Be crafts.
Just roll crafts, yeah. Cool. All right, you're able to in a jiffy put together a small lad that can scout and fly ahead forward in order to get information for you, Nara. Georgiana and Aldris, y'all do anything?
I will keep a lookout for any enemies.
Okay, sure. Roll me notice. The rider's looking for tracks of the lad. You're looking for boys. For bad boys. Okay. So unfortunately, currently all you can see are just the same lad that Ryder saw. These sand squirmer boys that are hanging out in the walls. You see a few. But in the distance, you guys think you can hear something shifting about. Maybe another animal moving. You're not entirely sure. But it would be sort of up a ravine forward up ahead. And looking about, he's taller than 7 feet. So if anything, you guys probably should have seen him by now. Down this path, though,
Big boy.
Nara, your little tracker bot comes back and says multiple entities have been detected from this location up ahead, including metal. So you know that there's some organics up ahead, and then also a large metal one. So that should indeed be the boy we're looking for.
All right, I pass on the information. Tuck the little bot in my chest pocket. Give it a little pat, tell it it did a good job.
Well, let's get going.
All right. As the four of you gather your party and venture forward, we'll say we go to a standard pace as to not provoke the creatures around us. I won't ask for a roll for this since we are aware that they're there, fortunately. We sort of move in, and we move in, and as you begin to look around, you can see various chips have been taken out on the side of this mountain. It is, in terms of width, more than enough room for you guys to stand. It's maybe 30-40 feet or so wide, but looking up, Ryder and Georgiana, you guys can see that there are like chips that have been scraped off and broken, so you're not sure if there was some sort of altercation here, or maybe creatures are marking their territory. So difficult to tell, but it is fairly consistent. So there's like one on the right, the one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, and these walls go up about 50 to 100 feet or so, depending on where you're currently standing. There are various mountain like bits where it'll go forward and then kind of arc up a bit for like a good 20-30 feet, then kind of come back down. But it looks like this was intentionally carved out forward, most likely to one of the mines that the town works on. And as we begin to head forward, you see that there is a clearing up ahead. And the clearing does indeed open up to a fairly large area, where you can see various carts, all mechanical in nature, knocked over. There's some rather large ones that have been pushed off to the side. And then seemingly the entrance to a cave. Huge entrance. And it's sort of difficult to tell precisely what we're looking at, as the walls to our left and our right, they rise pretty high. It's not blocking out the sun necessarily, but it's providing a lot of shade down here.
So we got a passageway leading to a cave.
Yeah, essentially.
Virtually.
And then ahead you hear some shifting. It's difficult to see into the cave. It's nigh impossible, actually.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion
without any lights.
that robot boy is in that cave up ahead.
The mouth of the cave is large, by the way. Very, 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 very large.
Yeah, I mean, let's get going then.
I'll actually describe it as less of a cave and more of the ravine sort of just comes to a close, and it sort of comes to like where the tips touch on the left and right ravine, and it just continues downward. And you can hear something shifting about downward towards the cave. You guys are maybe 50 or 60 feet away from the cave. There are, as I mentioned, many toppled vehicles and such to your left and to your right. And as you move about, you hear a very loud metal scraping on stone. And you have to pause for a moment to cover your ears because it just echoes throughout this ravine. And you look to the left and you look to the right. You're not entirely sure what made the sound, but it was absolutely deafening. Then looking up ahead, you see, presumably, the entity. And getting a little closer, you don't need to roll a notice roll or anything for this, as it would be physically impossible to miss this creature. I will quickly Yes, I will quickly redescribe it. It is definitely more than 7 feet tall. It's more than 10 feet tall. It's larger than any of your mechs, actually. It is quite the beast.
So, do we think that it's not what we're looking for?
You think that for a moment, Nara, until you look at the creature. It was mostly hidden in shadow. It kind of pulls itself out using its head and one of its big dumb legs. And you see this creature again. It's
our mechs are like Gundam sized.
Yes, this is a big boy.
This is like a kaiju.
Boy.
It is like a kaiju. So its body is very like egg shape in nature, like so. And as I mentioned, it does have what looks to be a wing. And its number is written on the side of its wing, and it has 2 legs, and the legs kind of come down like this. And there are indeed 2 of them, so it's like the leg boy. And on the top of this creature, its neck is just ridiculously long, and it comes to a head, and then you see a beak.
A head.
Yeah.
So it's a robot bird thing?
It's a giant robot bird, yeah, and you can tell why it couldn't fly.
Does it look like an ostrich?
It looks very much like an ostrich. And I'll go ahead and delete this from a distance. As I mentioned, it is impossible to miss this. The creature's name is written in Roman numerals, you notice. And it kind of squawks. It squawks and turns to look at you. And it goes like,
Is you?
I was about to call it Klein, but I guess Kevin works as well.
It says it right there in the chat.
Indeed.
No, I know. Before
yes.
you wrote it.
Yes. KE-51N.
Because he said
So it's looking at me?
K35.
As it turns about, its 2 little beady eyes kind of like, and you can see Kevin turn to you, Nara, and it kind of like.
I wave at it.
I'm gonna lift up my comms on my wrist. I'm gonna press it and be like, I'm like, Kabuto, you there?
Yes, Ryder, what can I do for you?
Please send the mechs over to our location.
Your location is somewhat compromised, Ryder. Are you able to find a...
possible?
I can attempt to. Could you possibly get to a better location?
Roger that. Gang, we need to back up and get our mechs, because I don't think we can get this big boy by ourselves, because we're kind of little compared to him.
Did you wave to it, Nara? Or you did something?
Yeah, she waved.
You waved, okay. It's little like right wing kind of like flaps out of it, and it sort of like waves back as it goes like, and then it starts like to run towards you, and you can feel the entire area shaking as it starts moving directly to Nara. What do you all do?
Wait, he's doing what?
Running to Nara.
Well, I just stand my ground. Maybe he wants to be my friend.
Oh,
okay.
Lord. Well, I'm moving backwards.
I can die in this, can't I?
I'm not fucking with this big ass robot.
I'm gonna try and like pin it down with like giant rocks that come out of the ground.
Okay, so you're gonna try to hold it in place?
Is there higher ground I can quickly like scamper up to jump onto the head?
Quickly, no, but there you could definitely try to traverse your way and like try to climb up the mountainside if you wished. It would take a little bit of effort, but you could definitely try doing that.
I'll try that.
Okay. Since it's
Can I see where that chip she gave us would go, or is it too tiny?
It's currently not facing you, so it's difficult to see exactly where it would go. But the creature is moving specifically towards Nara, Georgiana, not you. So as you run off, I'll say use athletics for going for an overcome roll. It's not necessarily attacking you, so I'm also rolling to see how quickly you can get up. Baseline, it's going to be a 2, just because this is relatively difficult to climb up.
While she's doing that, can I like use my booster boots to get back to my robot as fast as possible?
Yes. Are you flying up, or are you going back down where you came, which is basically down a ravine? The ravine would take quite some time. Going straight up, the mechs could pretty reasonably land up there.
Let's go with that.
Sure. Okay. So Ryder, I won't ask you to roll anything just because you're going to get there. It's just trying to balance yourself. It's a little slow, so you begin to kind of and fly upwards. Georgiana, look for that roll for me.
What do you want me to roll?
Athletics. All right. So we have that. Remember that you can use various bits to assist yourself. I don't know if any of your aspects would help with that.
Nope.
You saw on my screen, but it looked like she got a plus, but it was like the dice was like,
and then it bounced.
on
Yeah.
its like weird, like it didn't even like, it was like on its like the edge of a side, and
Yeah.
it didn't finish rolling.
So one of the fun things about rolling in this game is when you fail, you don't necessarily have to fail. But you did completely fail. So you, Georgiana, you can choose to fail or succeed at a great cost.
That was a bad plan. I'll fail.
Okay. I will say, as you fall, go ahead and mark 1 shift of damage. As unsurprisingly, you scrape your skin on the way down. You realize that the side of these mountains are actually relatively sharp. Aldris, you're trying to pull the rocks up to hold this creature still. Mr. Bird Boy. Barry Birdington. Big Boy Birdman. There we go. All right, so what you said you were trying to like basically make rocks come up out of the ground and grab onto him?
Yeah, just like
Okay.
trying to hold him down.
All right, try to hold him down. All right, the absolute girth of this lad is going to be
He's a thick boy.
he's a very, very thick boy. So due to his size, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for him, but I'm gonna give him a massive bonus, and then we will just pray and see what happens. All right, so you go ahead and roll first. All right.
Oh my god.
Sometimes the dice go the other direction.
Ouch.
Indeed. So the creature just begins to pretty mindlessly charge forward towards you, Nara. Aldris, you attempt to pull up on the earth in order to grab and grip this creature. You do slow it down for but a moment, Nara, giving you a chance to kind of scoot left, scoot to the right, but not enough to like actually hide from this creature, because the stones only stop it for a fleeting moment as it very quickly breaks through them. You're not sure if it stopped because it thought it needed to walk over them, or if it actually like got in its way. But due to the sheer size, just like girth of this creature, any fighting from your guys' current position will be just like ants tickling something. So Nara, with Kevin coming towards you, what will you do?
Ooh. I guess I'll...
As he's moving,
Try
you see
and-
him sort of rimming his head down, and his beak begins to open.
I guess I'll try and dodge.
Okay.
I guess.
You're just gonna run out of the way?
Yeah, I'm gonna... Can I throw my little flying bot into the air?
You to like distract him?
Yeah, like to go at his eyeballs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Fortunately, you
So I'll
recently
throw it up and
purchased.
then I'll dodge.
Yeah, so fortunately, you recently purchased some tinkering tools. I will say to give you a stay of squishing, Nara. Go ahead and roll me crafts, and we're gonna try to beat To slow him, we're going to try to beat a 3. But if you roll much higher than that, maybe we'll distract him for longer.
Damn.
All right. That is highly unfortunate.
I mean, no, let me try a fate point.
I say you have that good shit. You have that good shit. And you are
I'm gonna try a fate
a
point.
master tinkerer. So I'd say, yeah, re-roll those bad boys. Much better. There we go. Hell yeah. All right.
Oh, one time it actually worked out.
Excellent. So, I will say the boost this will grant you, Nara, is basically just Kevin is distracted currently. He's looking at the little bot and kind of like, you see his eyes just got just like looking about. Maybe not the best design, as the eyes are on the side of his head, much like most ostriches and creatures of this size and type are. And you see it kind of like trying to catch and follow this thing. It's unable to do so for very obvious reasons.
Created distraction.
Pretty much.
Up the ravine yet?
Yes, I'm about to say, Ryder, you are now at the top, and you hear the Kabuto say, "Ah, Ryder, I see you are now in a more comfortable position. Would you like your mech sent to you now?"
Thank you, please, quickly.
Sure. Am I only sending yours or also the others?
Send all of them.
Wonderful. I shall get on that in now. Thank you for using the Kabuto.
And you hear it sort of beep out, and then from a distance, you actually see smoke release from the Kabuto. And interestingly, Ryder, you can actually almost see it from here, the actual Kabuto itself. You see your mech launch up into the air as it kind of and then begins to fly over to your location.
Playing.
Hell yeah. As it comes flying towards your direction, and you sort of move out of the way, you know where it's going to land, and it lands a good, like...
No, sir.
Go, okay.
It flies past me, I jump off the ravine into it.
Okay, sure. It flies...
inside.
Sure, yeah. It flies past you. We'll say, like, do your suit and whatnot, there's, like, magnetics and such in it that kind of, like, direct you to, the cockpit hole, so the winds and everything don't catch you. And as you're falling, you land in your mech, and you basically quick mount it, and you may go ahead and switch to your mech mode, Ryder. And then in the distance, everyone else's mechs are now being launched. They'll most likely land up here, so Ryder, you're either going to help your friends get up here, or clear a way for them to either land or be moved down there. One of the two. But Nara, you are not currently out of harm's way. We'll say you currently have a boost while Ryder is mounting his mech, so not necessarily full on. Aldris and Georgiana, you can see that Kevin is currently distracted by the robot, but not for very much longer. As he looks back to the original source of his ire, you waving at him, Nara, which he does not take lightly.
Well, that's his problem, not mine.
Technically, it is. Georgiana and Aldris, would you like to do anything or assist in any way to help Nara?
I want my mech.
Okay.
Unbelievable. It's fine.
I can help better in my mech.
This is true.
I'm a pilot.
Are you going to do anything to get up there?
Do I have to climb again?
You tell me. It's literally
I can help you once I get down there.
If you only want your mech, then Ryder can help you get back up if you want.
All right, I'll wave my desperation at Ryder.
Okay. While you're trying to get Ryder's attention, as he mounts, he can see you. Aldris, what are you doing? Bird.
He died.
Bad.
He's enjoying his ice cream.
Without us, how rude.
That was me.
I want some ice cream.
Me too. Actually, maybe I should take the opportunity to go get a snack.
I mean, ice cream does sound mighty good. Not gonna lie.
It really does.
All right, any hoots. Nara.
Yep.
I will say he is indeed currently distracted, but he sort of gets annoyed with the bot, and he quickly snaps it out of the air, and you actually see him just sort of crush it quickly as he goes.
Well, that's absolutely rude, and I don't take that lightly. That is enraging.
Okay.
How dare he?
How dare?
He's a machine, right?
He is a giant machine, correct?
Sky machine.
Yes. Are you doing anything in particular?
I think since it's entirely mechanical, I should be able to hack into him.
From a distance, it would be incredibly difficult. You might be able to slow him down a little. If you're able to connect to any open port, it'd be much easier, but you're more than welcome to try.
Wow. Do I know where his ports are?
You need to physically touch him to do so and get closer. We know where one is. We know where one is. It's not necessarily super easy to catch on to, but we do indeed know where it is. Other than that, this would most likely be a wireless attempt.
Yeah, I'll try wireless anyway.
Okay. I will say you do have your boost, which is basically Kevin is currently distracted, which will not last very long. But that will, of course, give you
take advantage of that.
Yeah, so it'll give you a reroll or I'm not going to make it only because it's going to poof the second you use it anyway. It basically gives you a reroll or a free +2. We'll say from this distance, in order to hack into him, you're going to need a +6.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is.
All right, I'll try it anyway.
All right.
That would be burglary?
Yes.
Ooh!
Fortunately for you, with that +2, that's a 7.
That's a 7.
That is a 7. So you actually
works.
You do succeed. All right. So as you begin to slowly attempt to hack into Kevin, you see for a moment that it's not working, but you take advantage of the moment where he was distracted. And maybe you started a little earlier than he was anticipating. You can feel some fight back, but it's definitely pure brute force. And as that occurs, the creature kind of pauses for a moment and stops, and it kind of like, and then it sort of slides a bit, and you can actually see it basically just kind of eat shit, and then slam into the floor, and it sort of roll. It actually moves past you, Nara. He almost clips you in the process, and because you succeeded, fortunately, you were able to move out of the way, and you don't take any damage at all. But he's only grounded for a moment, and you and Georgiana are still exposed to the open.
Where's Ryder?
Can I jump on the back of his neck?
Don't hurt him.
I say you definitely can.
I definitely.
That's where his port thing is, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump on the back of his neck.
And what were you trying to do? Just jump on?
No, I'm trying to do the switch thingy.
Okay. So while he is distracted on his back, he's sort of rolling about a bit. So this isn't necessarily an attack, but you are indeed trying to jump on him. To do this, I would just go ahead and say, roll me some pilot. And let's see, that won't do it, unfortunately. You'll fly down, Ryder, and you'll attempt to mount onto the back of this thing, and its head is just like flinging left and flinging right. And as he sort of flares up life, you hear makes more noises that are sort of super high pitched. Nara and Georgia have to move pretty far and clear of this thing as it's kind of kicking out as it kind of rolls and like picks its body back up. You see it's one of its wings. It kind of like flips it, and the kind of rounded, nice shape of it changes as various blades come out, and it pushes itself up further, and you can see its neck kind of shifting and whatnot, and you see various plates like opening and venting, and they kind of and then they close. The creature pushes itself up, and you can see its eyes and various lights on its body kind of like flicker and go whoop, whoop. And
it'd be really nice to have a magical bird right now.
As you attempt to jump onto its neck, unfortunately it just moves out of the way too quickly, Ryder. But you do see Georgiana kind of waving you to get your attention.
He wasn't on the floor?
He was, and you dove at him and he quickly got back up.
Oh, okay.
And then as you miss, you see Kevin stand back up, and Georgiana's waving for you to get your attention.
I'm gonna fly down and pick her up to bring her up to her mech.
Okay. You're able to quickly do that as Kevin is distracted, and he looks about and he still sees Nara on the ground, and he goes, Meh!
Is he mad at me?
You can't tell. There's not really much emotion going on with this creature.
That made me really sad. Is he trying to move his beak?
Every time I make a noise, his beak is opening and closing. Yeah.
How tied down is he?
He's not. He's standing up. He's perfectly fine. His right wing is bladed, and as he turns to you, his left wing is now bladed. So the feathers are basically sticking out like long swords.
Yeah. He's trying to kill you.
He's trying to kill me.
You're not sure, but probably.
You know.
So, how sturdy does he look?
Very.
Perfect.
Georgiana, you're blown up by Ryder, and you see your mech land in the safe zone mere moments after you arrive there.
Crawl into it.
Okay. Oop, okay, go ahead and switch to mech mode for me.
Oh, yeah.
Nara, as Kevin stands up, he quickly turns to you, and before Ryder and Georgiana can assist you, it kind of goes meh, and as he does, his neck opens again, and you see the plates on his back kind of furrow, and you can see various slots open, and these small, small for him, they're unfortunately large for you, blades sort of come out, and they all whip out from him, and they just kind of and they shoot off like little seeker missiles, and they're basically all aimed towards you, Nara.
Man, this lady.
That's what happened.
He was ornery. No, not lady.
Wave at
Sorry.
a bird.
This person said he was ornery.
Yep.
Slightly.
I think this is a little more than ornery. I think that they.
Well, she did say it's
Hey?
you know.
She is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be clear. All right. I mean, I can't really dodge. I don't have a lot of. I don't have my neck.
Right. So in your current situation, because you're decently positioned, Nara, I'm gonna ask for an athletics roll of 2.
Okay.
Fortunately, what the ordnance it's firing is quite large. And
Athletics.
Athletics, yes, and
Nice,
you're
I have
quite
a 0.
you do have a 0. Did you put your stats in? You did. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything for athletics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, that is indeed about what it is. So you have
Can
2.
I help?
Oh, yes. You could have indeed helped there. What would you have done to assist Nara in dodging these giant bladed feathers?
Put up like a few magical like hard light walls.
Okay.
Maybe try to slow them down because I'm assuming it's not going to stop them.
Right. Yeah. So you'll try to like, divert them and slow them down to basically give her an edge on this. So go ahead and roll your lore, and we'll say the same. We're going for a 2.
Whoa.
Okay, I think you got it. So then for that, the feathers, since this is so fleeting, I won't create an aspect for it or anything. But effectively, what happens is he creates multiple hard light barriers that will boost the situation, Nara, and the situation is fleeting. So yes, you do indeed get a +2 on that, which allows you to succeed. They come hurtling in, and these barriers is all just quickly puts his clawed hands out and just kind of, and then the feather just like slaps it. But Aldris, knowing that these are far too large to stop, instead he arcs these at the appropriate angle so that they like turn away and uses their momentum to just push them away from you, Nara. So as you dive, you're not sure if you would have actually gotten out of the way or not, but fortunately Aldris was there to help you. And after it finishes firing those, it kind of looks up and you can see Georgiana and Ryder in your guys' consoles that the creature is scanning for hostile life forms, and it has sensed the two of you. Aldris and Nara, you guys theoretically could get to your mech if you wished.
Yeah,
you
I'm
just
gonna
need
make
the
a run
assistance
for it.
of your buds.
I'm gonna make a run for my mech.
Go
Okay.
for it, GG, and be like, we need to get to the back of his neck pronto.
Alrighty, I am going to do this encounter differently because there's only one Kevin currently, and there's 4 of you.
Like I
So-
said, currently.
Yeah, I'm going to basically have Kevin do something between each of your turns, whether it be directly attacking you or doing something for you to overcome is effectively how he's going to function. So we'll combat as per usual. And since Nara and Aldris just did something, and successfully, I might add, Georgiana and Ryder, I'll let you choose who goes first, and every time one of you go, popcorn to the next person, but just keep in mind, I will go between. So, Ryder, Georgiana, y'all
She
go
just got in her ship, so I'm gonna let
Yeah.
her go first.
first. Okay. GG.
Can I pop in a root beer float sucker
Okay.
and use it to do a comfy, cozy cage
Or,
around Kevin?
it's really big.
I don't care. I just need his head to be locked down so that
Okay.
I can slip the chip in.
You could use that pop that I gave you. That's like the freezy.
Okay. So you're basically trying to restrain his head specifically or something else?
Yeah, his head specifically.
Okay. So in trying to restrain Kevin's dome, you're going to go ahead and I'll say this is definitely shoot because you're basically firing like what? Like root beer foam at him to contain him,
Root beer phone.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a slowing foam.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. His head is wriggling about as he's looking about for you guys.
I should do shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Shuto Guto. Alrighty. Kevin will use his agility to dodge out of the way, and he will very much do that as you fire off your root beer goo. Kevin, and then just kind of like quickly, way too quickly for how big he is. You see his like talons dig into the earth, and he quickly just like jolts off to the side, and your root beer junk just goes hurtling and splatters into the back wall, and just kind of like starts to eke down it. All right, Georgiana.
Oh, I missed.
You did miss, unfortunately. So we'll do this. You tell me who goes next, and then I'll have him do something before they go.
Ryder.
Okay. After you fire that, Kevin kind of looks directly at you, Georgiana, and he opens his mouth, and you just feel energy charging. And in the back of his mouth, you can see a light beginning to build. Ryder?
I'm gonna try to like booster, like you know, like use my thrusters to try to grab onto his neck again.
Okay. That'll be pilot again then. Alrighty.
Fuck.
As you boost forward, okay.
Can I use a fate point?
Which of your which of your aspects are you gonna be poking for that? Because you're trying to pilot and jump at him, right?
I can't use my high concept, right?
I'm honestly not sure. It's a little vague, but you've been using Best Bounty Hunter primarily for piloting type scenarios. So I'll say you can use it for that specifically, yeah.
So is it just a reroll or what happens? I forgot.
You either add +2 or reroll. +2 would be an automatic success, so that's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. That would give you a 4 against my 3. And effectively what you're trying to do is you're trying to overcome me. So as you charge towards Kevin, that's not necessarily an attack. Actually, I'll ask you. You weren't trying to overcome. You're trying to create an advantage, right? Basically, so that people can get on
I'm not
his
trying to
neck.
hurt him. I'm just trying
Right,
to grab on to...
Okay. So that basically lets you create an aspect with 1 free invoke. What would you like to create?
Like an opportunity?
Sure. So you're effectively trying to like slow him down a bit.
What do you mean? What am I trying to create?
So part of the game is naming the aspects, allows them to be used more easily.
Like I'm trying to hold him still so somebody else can get to the switch.
Okay. So I say temp hold. I'll say since he's so beefy. And because it's easier to move. Okay. That does give you 1 free invoke on the lad. Alright. And who should go next, Ryder?
Aldris.
Okay. And as all that happens, Kevin attempts to move out of the way. Unsuccessfully, fortunately. You slow him down a little bit, Ryder, as he turns to Georgiana.
Am I still on his neck, or
you are like you're partially on his neck, kind of holding him, but you're realizing that the absolute strength of this thing is a little more than you anticipated. So you've slowed him, which is basically temporarily held, and then once you get off him, that will go away. But it does currently have 1 free invoke, so you guys can roll against that as long as it's correct for the situation. So yes, you slowed him down a little bit, fortunately. But all the same, he is going to finish charging his laser and shoot it directly at you, Georgiana. So I'm gonna have to ask you.
Can I ask a game question real quick?
Yes, definitely.
So, is there anything else that we could roll other than shoot and pilot while being in our mech, or is that the only 2 things that we will ever roll?
Yes, as long as you can justify it. So Nara rolls crafts to boost you guys. You can roll pilot, you can roll fight, because technically you are fighting in your mech. Pilot is more like maneuvering, and what you were trying to do is literally maneuver onto his neck. So that makes the most sense.
So like when it's my turn, can I use like fight or athletics to like hold on to him?
You can use athletics. So if you want, so with how it works, if you athletics to hold him down again, you're trying to create an advantage. So in that, one of the things you can do with succeed and succeed with style is you can add a free invoke to an existing aspect. So he's already held. So if you hold him further, you can basically solidify this hold on him, which will just keep adding free invokes, which will give everybody an extra +2 and or reroll when they decide to do something against him, whether it be they try holding him or they try attacking him. So the more of these you stack, the better it is.
Okay.
They have to be different, obviously. So if you have 8 free invokes on temporary hold, you can only invoke one of them.
I got you.
All right, so Georgiana, I'm going to shoot my laser at you. You need to dodge using your pilot, yes?
Yes.
All right. Roll that pilot to dodge this big-ass laser. It's coming. I hope you're ready.
I'm probably not ready.
Pilot's your best skill.
It is indeed.
Oh, fuck.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, so this is an attack against a defense. Meaning you may use multiple things, Georgiana. You have your aspects, and you have the free temp hold invoke.
Free what invoke?
So if you that temporary hold, so Ryder's holding this thing's neck. Because of that, if you use that invoke for free, it'll bring your 5 to a 7 or a reroll. But I think you rolled pretty well. Yeah, you rolled a +1, so you wouldn't want to reroll that.
7 isn't going to help me win that, though, right?
Correct, which is why you could take one of your aspects, like multi-time winner of the Space Galaxy race, meaning you're very, very fast, invoke that, which would bring you to a 9, and then you can dodge.
All right, I will do that.
All right, beautiful. So go ahead and use 1 fate point. The temp hold was free, but now that's gone. So, Ryder, fortunately, because you were holding this creature, it went to fire its laser, and it just like, and you're on its neck, but you can feel the whole thing kind of heat up, and you can see its vents are like steaming, and just like, and this huge laser just goes hurling towards Georgiana. So go ahead and use one of your fate points, Georgiana. And that'll bring your roll from a 5 to a 9. +2 from that, and the +2 from one of your aspects. And when you're defending, because you succeeded, you're going to just completely ignore all damage. Congratulations, that would have hurt. All right, the laser bites into the side of the rift behind you, taking a sizable chunk out of it. That definitely would have hurt. I believe you said Aldrich is next?
Yeah.
All right. Bird Boy, you're up.
I want to like shoot a giant lightning laser at it to try and like overload its systems.
Okay.
Maybe slow it down a little bit with that, and fly up towards my mech at the same time.
Trixie. Okay. We'll say you're flying up towards your mech as you're charging this this beam to sort of shoot him. Sure. I'll roll. Let's see. Because of your situation and because of your size disparity, I'll add +2 to myself, just because obviously size disparity. So go ahead and just roll your lore. Okay. So of course you can, invoke an aspect or something if you like to tie. If you tie, you do get to create a boost on either him or yourself. A boost is a one-time quick +2, and then it goes away. So it's not an aspect on Kevin.
Does he have +6 on everything?
No, he has +4, but because Aldris is tiny, I gave him +4 and then +2. So that depends on you, Aldris. If you want to use one of your aspects to jack it up to a 6, you can tie him, which will give yourself a boost. Otherwise, a fail, which just means nothing happens.
I'll just fail.
Okay. But fortunately, you do move up to where your mech is, and you can see it launch from the distance as it kind of fires off, and it's about to arrive. By the time it comes back to you, it shall indeed be yours. The creature is slowly looking towards you, Aldris, and as it does, you can see it fan its wings out, and it begins to prep to fire off a bunch of those little bladed wings again. And you can tell that they're aimed at Aldris. Nara, what do you do?
I mean, have I gotten in my mech yet?
You are the furthest from your mech, and you have no way of getting to it without any help. You are probably in the worst position currently. Now, I will say you can use crafts or something to help boost you either closer, and then when Ryder or Georgiana come up, and like I said, you get to poke them and say your turn, they will... they can just take their turn to pick you up and just basically throw you up there.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds
you can contact the ship to say, like, hey, send my mech now, I'll be there, trust me. So whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll contact the ship.
All right.
Begin the process of getting it there.
All the ships are already up there.
The Kabuto won't launch the ship until you get close enough.
No, I know, but when I got up there, I said launch all the ships.
The Kabuto's only launching them as you guys go up there.
Oh, all right.
So when Georgiana jumped up, it launched hers. So,
who's the closest to me?
Georgiana, I think, in her mech.
I'm gonna. Can I contact Georgiana?
Of course, yeah. You guys have open comms all the time.
All right, Georgiana,
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to throw me.
Okay. Where to?
To my mech.
I will pick her up and toss.
Okay. So we'll say that before you start moving towards Nara in order to do that, Georgiana.
I think I'm also going to be moving towards Georgiana, so we're moving towards each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you guys are moving towards each other. You phone the Kabuto and say, "Hey, send the mech now." And it says, "I would not recommend that, Nara. That is quite dangerous. But
Look,
as you will, have fun. Definitely not dying.
thank you, ship.
Anytime." All right, Mr. Aldris, as you are running towards your mech, I'm going to have to ask you to make an athletics roll for this one. Alrighty. The blades that have been following you from the massive Kevin strike just behind you as Nara and Georgiana are running to each other, and you're able to move and sort of jump out of the way, but unfortunately not fully. Because of that, you'll take 2 shifts of damage. So you can apply that however you wish. And then after that, Kevin will take his actual turn, where he will, rather than charging an attack, the lasers on the lights on his body will just light up, and he will actually go for he'll go for a double attack against Ryder and Georgiana.
My.
So you may use pilot or athletics to dodge this. It is up to you.
I only have one choice.
All right, I am going to split. So I have to roll first, and then I'll split the roll. All right, so I rolled a 4. Perfect. I'll put 2 at Ryder and 2 at Georgiana. Woo! All right, excellent. You both succeed. All right, and then with defending, Ryder, you get to ignore that. And fortunately, Georgiana, you get a boost.
Woot woot.
Which is, once again, fleeting. It's going to work once, and then it goes away. So you get Speedy Girl, 1 free invoke. So it's technically not an aspect, it's a boost, but we all know how that works. All right, boop, and then next up. Next round, all right? Next change. All right, cool. And then she picked for you to go next, Georgiana. So you're running towards Nara after you have dodged the lasers from Kevin.
Well, I want to scoop her up and toss it towards the mech.
Okay.
Like a little, I assume the mech is close, right?
It's close enough for you, yeah. This area is actually not too big. So I say...
Well, am I full on, tossing, or can I lob?
I will say, because you rolled so well in that dodge, and because this is your only action for the turn, yeah, we'll say your whole turn will just be doing this, meaning it'll be successful, because you're not rolling to do anything specific. You're dedicating your whole turn to helping her. And because of that, I'll reward you with just saying you get Nara directly to her, where her mech is going to be, and you look up, Georgiana, and you can see that Nara, your mech is already on the way, hovering, and it's going to basically float directly above you guys. So Georgiana, you kind of need to jump and then present her to said mech.
Okay.
All right. As you do that, once again, I'm not going to require any rolls from you guys, just because that is indeed your whole turn.
Yeehaw.
but you're able to mount up into your mech, Nara, as you kind of jump back in. It like flips and pulls you and turns you in. All the lights flicker to life. Your suit greets you, and you are now mounted and meched up. Georgiana, who's next?
Ultras.
All right. You can see that Kevin is now turning to fire that laser again at Ryder. Aldris, what do you do?
So am I in my mech now?
We can say you are safely in your mech, yes, after having dodged that attack.
Oh boy, now I get to token change.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Bird.
Bird mode, baby. Let's do this.
Bird to a metal bird.
Bird up.
All right, now with bigger cannons, I'm gonna try the overload system things again.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, he only gets a 4. Ooh, darn.
One day.
You can push it. So when you're trying to when you're trying to nail it, you can go +2. I don't think you need to reroll. Up to you, or you can just take the whiff. Up to you.
I'll take the whiff.
All right. Again, you try, and again, Kevin is able to dodge and resist your attempt to harm him. Who shall go next?
Nara.
All right, Nara. The cannons are ready. Ryder, are you ready to dodge?
I mean, I guess I'm just sitting here.
All right. Roll me athletics or pilot, whichever you wish to dodge with. As a massive beam comes flying towards you. Alrighty, not bad.
How's the beam coming towards me if I'm on his neck?
Oh shit, you're right. Never mind. All right, a different attack is firing at you. Then we will say, since you are on his neck, since you're on his neck, instead he has like various blades that are sticking out from between those little vents, and you're kind of like wriggling while still holding on to him in order to hold him tight, but you weren't able to dodge completely, so go ahead and mark 1 shift of harm. So not bad, actually, not bad at all. You actually rolled really well on that. All right, Nara.
All right. Okay. What is the exact setup right now?
Georgiana just helped you into your mech, so you guys are near each other. Aldris is up on the cliff, and Ryder is riding Kevin.
But my name is Ryder.
Exactly.
So, does Aldris look in danger?
No.
Actually,
considering he attacked Ryder last, he'll probably attack one of you next.
okay. I'm going to... I think I would like to somehow I should try provoking it. Can I get its attention on me to make an opening for somebody else?
You can. How would you like to do that?
He's looking around for Kevin's gonna attack somebody else next, right?
Yeah, he's looking to either Aldris, Nara, or Georgiana. He's seemingly attacking at random, but he doesn't attack the same person twice in a row. So he just attacked Ryder. He's gonna pick one of y'all next.
I'm gonna throw something at him. Like a rock or something.
You're gonna throw a rock at him to distract him?
Yeah. You know. Just
you're in your mech, right? You can shoot at him.
Yeah, but I don't want to shoot at him.
That's fine. I mean, regardless, it is still the shoot roll. So I'm going to have to ask you to roll shoot if you're throwing something.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
You can use some of your.
I'm not aiming to hurt.
Right.
I'm aiming to
distract. Yeah. So if you want to throw a rock just to distract him, that would be shoot. If you want to use your crafting skill to do something else to distract him, you can also do that. Or your burglary hacking skill to make him see something, you can do that as well.
I'll try that. The
hacking one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll try to yeah, I mean he's a machine, so
okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Trying to create an advantage via screwing with his optics.
Damn.
All right, well, not so great on me either. You rolled -3, so rerolling that would not hurt.
Wait, I'll reroll.
Go ahead and use a fate point. Sometimes the dice just say no. Fortunately, you did tie, so we can create a boost on Kevin, and that shall indeed be temporary boosto. We'll just say distracted.
All right. And then, wait, what?
Nothing. No, you good. That was great. And then Ryder shall be next. Since you are distracting him, I will say he is just charging another laser.
I'm gonna brace myself.
Okay. He's gonna be aiming this one at you, Nara. Ryder, it's your turn. You are wrangling this boy.
Can I? I want to climb up closer to the little switch thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, so that's it? You're just climbing up?
Well, I mean, it's on the back of his neck, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I want to get as close as I can.
Okay. You're not piloting.
I feel like that's athletics.
That's athletics. Athletics is literally climbing. Okay. We're not attacking. You're just trying to get closer to his neck. Okay. God, this is weird. Sure. This will be overcome because he's trying to wriggle you off of him. So we'll say beat a 3.
No, I'm
all right. You can reroll it, or you can use the distracted free invoke to be at 3, which will tie.
But that wouldn't do anything.
It wouldn't succeed, but it'd be tied. I mean, you can use both realistically. So yeah, you can use a fate point to roll. That's fine.
I gave myself 50. Roll. Hello?
Thinking about it. There we go. That's much better. Holy shit. The old no, it's just 2 pluses. Very nice. Okay. So you definitely overcame that. That will give you a boost. So I'll say that gives you
Monkey Man.
Yeah, high ground. On his neck. However that works. Alright, so that is a boost. You can't invoke it, but you do get it for free if you're using the high ground. Alright, Ryder, who's next?
How much closer did I get to his neck thing? Hole.
Neck hole thing. You are close. You're definitely closer. You're near the bottom of his neck, we'll say, like of where his neck meets his head. And what she said is you basically need to like hold that part and then pop the thing open, but you gotta hold him. You gotta hold him still. So mechanically, obviously, what you guys need to do is damage and slow Kevin by stacking bullshit on him, and then pop the chip in effectively.
What are these blue bars above our?
That's how many fate points you have.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just an easy way to keep track if you don't have the sheet open. All right, who would you like to go next, Ryder?
GG.
All right, GG will go next. But first, a laser will be fired towards Nara. Go ahead and roll me athletics or pilot, your choice. Trying to beat. Wow, I roll horribly. You're trying to beat a 3.
So it's athletics or pilot.
Or pilot, yes.
All right,
I will let you guys
better,
use.
So.
I'll let you guys use both, just because.
Damn.
Perfect. Well, that's good. You're defending, so you indeed
yeah, but
want
I want to be better.
Yeah, true. That does grant you a temporary boost though.
Okay.
Just copy Speedy Girl. We'll just say Dodger for now, which you can invoke for free because you dodgered. All right. All right, and then the Kevin is going to go ahead and do another AoE attack. And this one's going to be against, we'll say, Aldris and Georgiana. Now that you've mounted up Aldris, he's going to fire his little feathery wings at you. You may choose to defend with this with any stat you want, as it is indeed a projectile. I rolled a 4. I'll say, oh god, that's awful. We will say, you know what, I'll use one of my few fate points and say, all right, 7, that's much better. All right, we'll say 4 Georgiana and 3 Aldris.
Do I have any options?
I mean, you're the pilot.
Hi, pilot.
Yeah. Woo! Oh my god! Alrighty. You guys both defend with gusto, if you will. No damage to anybody. Alrighty. Who'd you say was next, Nara? Or wait, yeah, Nara went last, right? No, Ryder did. Ryder did. Okay.
I said Gigi's next.
Gigi's next. All right. Georgie.
So where exactly is everyone?
Ryder's on the neck, and you guys are all surrounding him.
Can I use my speedy girl to assist me in knocking his legs off from under?
Sure. So you want to like topple him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and use we'll say use pilot for that, just to like get all up in there. Then he'll attempt to defend. All right. That is indeed a fail for my boy. So exceed, you can create one free aspect with a free invoke. So you want to basically off balance, right? Something like that. Or do you want to use Speedy Girl to like push it further? That way you can create an off balance with 2 free invokes.
Essentially off balance, yeah.
Okay. We'll say off balance, and he'll have 2 free invokes. Excellent roll. All right. And you use your Speedy Girl, so we'll delete that. All right, who is next? Georgiana. Nara, okay. With that, we'll say he's charging his laser at Aldris this time. All right, Nara, what you got?
Can I... He's charging up at Aldris?
Yes, he's trying to keep his balance while Georgiana's flying around his legs, trying to keep him off balance. And he's somewhat distracted by your robots. Or sorry, not by your robots, sorry, by your hacking.
Could be robots, though.
Could be, yeah. Maybe he sees robots, who knows?
Maybe I'm using robots. So Georgiana's at his legs.
Correct.
I'm messing with his optics.
Mm-hmm.
And he's charging up a laser?
Indeed. It seems bigger this time. He's very frustrated as you guys are getting the better of him.
This is what I expected, by the way, when she said ornery. This is exactly
there
what I
any
expected.
way that
He's just slightly saucy.
Where is the... Is it coming out of his mouth?
The laser?
Yeah.
It has been.
Can I close his mouth?
That would take a roll. You can try. What are you going for? Are you physically flying up and shutting his mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to try putting one hand on top and one hand below.
Sure. Oh my god! What the hell do you roll for that? I want to say athletics. You're not hurting. Yeah, you're not hurting him. You're using the physical prowess of your mech to get in. And that's basically what athletics is.
My mech's a little creature.
Yeah, basically, he's creature. Okay. We'll say he's somewhat distracted, so I'll only give him +3 on this to resist your squish, your closing of his mouth.
I don't know how well it'll go because I have a pretty low athletics thing, but
all right, well, I rolled a 1.
I do hope though that even if I don't succeed, I am trying to interrupt what he's doing.
Sure.
All right.
We'll say if you succeed, you completely stop the laser.
Wait. Let me. I only have. Don't the fate points refill?
At the beginning of the next session, or if I invoke one of them.
Session? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna use another fate point.
Okay.
This is my last one for the evening.
Okay. That'll put you as a tie on that, and I'll say the 2 of us will take equal damage.
Oops, sorry,
you're good.
Do that.
No worries. We'll say with that. The laser, like the blast, shoots outward here. I'll give him a bigger. There we go. So I'll say you take 2 because you took a 2 shift. He'll take a 4 shift. Yeah, because the laser's inside his mouth. Before he's able to fire it off at Aldris, you clamp shut on his beacon here. and you just feel all this light and energy just shoot out from between the cracks and whatnot. You can see you definitely damaged him, not severely, but you definitely done something to him. We won't create any bonuses. We'll just say you completely stopped that attack and saved Aldris.
Okay.
A lot of the like the side heat and whatnot unfortunately hurt you a bit, but you did put yourself in a pretty good position.
So it's 2 shift, right?
Yeah.
So can I do
Preferably you want to prioritize stress before consequences, because consequences stick with you.
so I guess I'll take 2 physical stress?
Yeah, because if it was it'd be mental stress if it was something I was doing to like your brain hole, which
Gotcha. All right. So, and then next would be Aldris.
You want Aldris next? All right. We'll tell you he is indeed distracted. His laser did not go off. So Aldris, what do? He's trying to get Nar off his face.
Gonna go for the good old rock pinning again.
Okay. He is indeed off balance. So I'll give him a plus 3 to this because, as I said, he is a slow boy as of current. And we were trying to create an advantage on him, right? Not attack?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, sometimes dice like me, apparently. Hey, they like you more. Very nice. Okay. Hell yeah. All right, so you can create an aspect of free invoke, or you can boost one by one. I assume you want to create a new one?
Yeah.
All right. We'll say rocks on legs. I don't know. Rocky legs. I'll have 1 free boost. Alrighty. The earth juts up as Georgiana trying to topple the beast. Of course, unable to do so just because he's so damn large. But you shooting these rocks up, he's both like trying to adjust to the top of his body and he's trying to move his legs, but they're kind of held and he's half breaking out and half not. You can tell that on his next turn, he's going to try to get Nara off him. So rather than attacking, he's going to try to clear some of these debuffs. So he's going to try to clear the distracted debuff instead of actually attacking. So he's not charging an attack. Ryder, you are on his neck and doing a thing. What's next, bud?
Closer to the switch.
Okay. Just getting to the switch obviously won't do anything because you can't by yourself do anything. So what's your intention while you're getting up there?
Because I have the chip.
Yeah. So even if you get to Ryder, you can't do anything.
Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if you get to it, you can't do anything necessarily. Are you trying to like?
Well, I thought to open it.
Right. So is that your goal to open it?
For now, yeah.
Okay. We'll say on your turn, you're actually able to.
Steps.
Yes. Yeah. So you're actually able to get close enough. On this turn, you're able to get close enough to you're kind of holding him, and you could pop it open. But you realize it is locked. So you're gonna have to attack this thing to get it open.
Okay. I'm gonna use like on my knuckle of my fist.
Okay.
Like a little like small like laser dagger kind of like comes out.
Okay.
So because I'm not gonna pull a sword out, so it's just
Right.
kind of like so I like think of Wolverine but like 1 claw, and I'm
Okay.
just like trying to hack at it.
I can see that. All right. Let's say his armor is very tanky, so we'll go with this. All right. So that sounds like fight if I've ever heard of fight. So as I go and roll that shiz for me, and I will attempt to defend with my thick boy armor. All right. Unfortunate, but you do have 3 free invokes and potentially a reroll if you want. It is up to you. You only rolled a -1 technically. Rather than your rerolling, you can add a +2, then you can add +2 3 more times if you want. So it's up to you how much you want to get in there.
Yeah, I'll do what you just said.
Okay, cool. You also have a high ground. Do you want to use that too?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and slowly do the math on this one. Everybody with me now. 2 goes to 4 when we delete high ground. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Goodbye, high ground. So we're currently at a 4. And then we're going to go ahead and take distracted before you can remove it, which brings us to a 6. And we're going to use for free Rocky Legs. Doesn't go away. And we're going to use off balance. Doesn't go away. This brings us to a 10.
Nice.
All right. You don't need to tap into any of your skills. Instead, you all just need to wombo this boy down. Hell yeah. All right, cool. So your 2 turns to a 10 against my 6 defense. So you attack. We'll go ahead and just apply that damage directly to him. And I will say on the Kevin, that'll be a moderate consequence because that's a... Wait, why is there so many things on here? I didn't know that was that one. Okay. That is 4 shifts of damage. And I'll go ahead and absorb all of that through moderate consequence of hatch is open. Alrighty.
Uh-oh.
So you...
I'm gonna page or whatever. I'm gonna call Georgina or whatever. I'm gonna be like, hey, I got the latch open.
Is the head weaving around? Like, can I get near it?
So yes, Georgiana, as he like digs his blade in and starts cutting at it, initially he sees that he can't get in, but after a while, just due to the creature being kind of toppled and off balance and distracted by Nara kind of holding its mouth shut, you're actually able to kind of like pop right in there. And the armor really is real tough, but you actually do get in. You have to hold the latch open, so you can't just open it and leave it at that. There's like a spring or something in it. There's really some like anti-grav field or something that's trying to keep it shut. So you have to use like all your strength Ryder to keep this thing open, but you do indeed have it open. The creature though is going to basically fire off just a multitude of feathers and missiles and just shit everywhere. I'm going to ask everybody to roll either athletics or pilot, and we're trying to overcome 4. Surprising no one. All right, Nara. Nara. The creature. Is she? Oh, there you are. Roll me athletics or pilot.
Sorry.
Various lasers and bladed feathers are flying all over the arena. Wonderful. Alrighty. So Aldris and Ryder, unfortunately you're in this position. You're able to dodge some of these attacks. So each of you go ahead and add me 2 shifts of damage. Remember, if you can't put it in the 2-shift slot, you have to either do the mild consequence or use a higher slot. Ryder, you look like you're fine. You have a lot. So that's only Aldris and Ryder. The 2 of you, Nara and Georgiana, you're able to dodge.
Okay.
So for Aldris, you need to mark the 3 slot or a mild consequence slot. Up to you. Preferably try not to touch your consequences until you absolutely have to. Stress is basically like a buffer until you actually get to the bad shit. Ryder, who do you want to go next? Georgie?
Yeah, because I just called her about the hatch being open and I need the chip.
All right, sounds all right. With a quick, nimble dodge, Georgiana, you hear the hatch is open. What do you do?
Will I rush up to the head?
Okay.
Can I peek out of my mech long enough to insert the chip?
All right. Considering it is indeed a chip that you have, you'll have to pilot on over to it and effectively get another good overcome roll to jump out and put the chip in. But you can see from here using the vision of your mech where the slot is. Obviously, your mech can't physically do it, so you would have to. But yes, that is indeed an option. Kevin is being Kevin and just kind of wriggling about and being an ass, though you'll have to stop him from doing this, or have enough high enough roll to just say, "Man, I got it."
All right. So
up
what
to
do I
you.
gotta roll?
If you are physically doing it, I won't say roll pilot because you can pilot your way up there. You are probably going to have to roll athletics, or if you can get something to do it for you. I don't know what you would have on you. You could do
I
that.
possibly grab her out of her mech and put her?
You have to hold this latch open with both your hands, like one hand on
it?
one hand on the Kevin, and then you're latching that sucker open. So
okay.
somebody needs to hold it open and keep it open. So it is indeed exposed, and the Kevin is angry.
Yeah, it sounds like athletics.
Okay. I'll say we're trying to overcome a 4. Definitely a 4.
Oh dear God.
I believe in you.
Rip.
All right. No, not rip. Not technically. You have 2 fate points. You have off balance with 1 free invoke, and if you invoke Rocky Legs, that's another +2 and or a reroll. Up to you.
It says Rocky Legs has 0 free invokes.
Free invokes. You can invoke it by using a fate point.
All right.
Yeah, so you can always invoke anything. Whether or not it's free is dependent on what you guys have done. So if Aldris like keeps buffing on the Rocky Legs, so if he does create an advantage, he can add a free invoke to the existing Rocky Legs if he wants. Basically double down.
All right. So if I'm going to forcibly invoke it, I would do a fate point.
Yes. So you can use off balance for free. So off balance would go down by 1, and then because those all have 0 free ones now. Yes, basically you would use 1 fate point, go down from 2 to 1, and then you'd add +4 to your roll, which it brings you to, hey, guess what? Exactly a 4. All right.
All right, done.
All right, done.
What, 1 fate point?
Correct. 1 fate point because one of those was a free invoke. Theoretically, if you have enough fate points, you can invoke all of them, but it's nicer for your friends to boost you and to invoke it for free. Things not going down. So anyway, yes, you jump out of your mech as Ryder is holding this hatch open. Ryder, you see like steam and you see like energy beginning to build up around Kevin. You don't know what he's going to try to do to get you off, but he does not want you back there. He's freaking out. Georgiana, your mech flies up and towards Kevin, and you're able to leap out and you land on his neck just barely. You're like scraping by, and you're kind of like pulling up. We'll say the heat of the mech begins to sort of burn you in your suit. So go ahead and take 2 shifts of damage as you begin to move in. But you're able to sort of scramble your way as Nar is distracting him and Aldris is holding his legs. He doesn't move as much as you're anticipating to, and you whip out the chip and you shove it into the slot. And you see sparks and lightning, and you feel Kevin kind of shifting in place, and then he stops just abruptly, and all the heat, all the steam just completely leaks out of him, and Ryder, the lightning and such coming from this latch ceases. You can actually feel he was charging up some form of like bodily shock to get all of you off of him, but you stopped him just in time. So you pause for a moment, and you sort of see a lot of the lights kind of die down, and they go from like that like bright red to like a green, and he goes, meh! And then he looks over to Aldris and goes, meh, meh. And then he tries. You feel he's trying to communicate with you, Aldris, as you are in a giant metal bird. Aldris does not speak back.
Wait, did you say GG put the thing in?
Yeah.
I thought that shuts him off.
No, it makes him go back to where he was. He
yeah, it's the code of...
Yeah,
go
back home.
My bad.
Yeah, so he attempts to talk to Aldris's mech, gets no response, kind of makes a sad bird noise.
Point back home.
All right, you point back home and it goes, meh, meh, meh. And you while your soul's kind of on his neck, maybe unsure as to whether or not he's been calmed or not, Ryder. And Georgiana, you're kind of like, whoa. He just
ride, Kevin.
He just starts walking. Georgiana, you're not exactly in the best position currently.
I'm gonna use my other hand because I don't have to hold it open anymore, and I'm gonna pick up Gigi and put her back in her mech.
Okay. She sort of slides down Kevin's neck, but you're able to catch her just in time. And then you sort of daintily put her back in her mech. It was just like floating there next to Kevin.
I'm gonna say, onwards, Kevin!
All right, he goes, meh! And then Kevin just starts lumbering and going back up this ravine towards the... I almost said the camp.
Or sorry, Doria.
The farm. And while he's on the way there, Ryder, you kind of have to like move a little bit because you notice that Kevin's letting his head loll a bit too much as he's moving, and his head is like bouncing up against the sides of this ravine. And then I just see him do that.
Slide down a little bit.
You sort of notice like, oh shit, those were all the marks from going down here. Okay, what a doof. And y'all keep moving. And he sees some of those like smaller, those smaller creatures, and he hisses at them, and they sort of like they hiss back, and they kind of climb and crawl away into the darkness, and then looking about and such, you guys eventually see the clearing that leads back to the farm. The doors are open. There's some creatures moving around and whatnot, and Kevin just walks back into the giant barn, which is appropriately sized for him. You actually notice that he fits directly in the middle of the barn, being surrounded by multiple cages, and there's like 4 levels or so of other creatures and such. And they're less cages, more like charging zones. It's just the cages to prevent them from getting out and doing what Kevin's doing.
When we enter, can I call out to Doria?
Yes. You attempt to, but you don't receive a response from her directly. Instead, you just hear music. But as you guys move away from Kevin, he's just sitting there in his spot. He goes to sit down, which kind of makes the ground rumble a bit. And at that, you actually
jump off of him and get out of my mech.
As you jump out, Ryder, you actually see Doria just outside of her abode, and she's like waving to you guys.
Told you, Doria, you hired the best crew ever.
Oh, you're all so good. Look at my little... Oh, he looks so sweet. That didn't take that long.
He's a peach.
Yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he? I told you he was pretty big.
Very, very big.
Yeah, it's a good thing you have these large mechanical wrangling units.
Yeah, we're the space wranglers.
She looks over at Georgiana and goes,
Ooh, the color on that one is quite nice.
On my mech?
yes.
Thank you.
And she smiles at that. And as she's speaking to you, Ryder, she's also kind of messing with her tablet and kind of like also humming to herself. It sounds very similar to the song that you just heard a second ago. And you guys hear all of your tablets sort of beep at the same time, signifying that you have indeed been paid. And then she smiles again at you, Ryder, and says,
Payment should be now issued to your group.
Thanks a lot. If you ever need more wrangling, you know who to call.
oh, most definitely. If the little ones get out, do you guys do small ones too?
Sure, as long as it pays.
Oh, I'm good for it.
Sounds good. I give her the gun fingers.
All right, she tries doing it back, but she doesn't have fingers. It's kind of just like tentacles wriggling, and she's trying to like form a gun with her hands and can't. And then she kind of like points and goes, "Oh, I'll figure it out."
All right, Doria.
She waves happily as she kind of runs over and starts like petting Kevin's foot, I guess, because he's so freaking huge.
See, guys, I told you, piece of cake. We got paid.
Yeah,
Mucho
honestly, way
grande.
less suspicious than I thought it was.
None of us got killed.
Almost.
Gravy. We just pissed off a giant bird robot thing, but fine.
All right.
Otherwise, not difficult. The four of you return to the Kabuto, in which you are greeted, as per usual. And hit that bad boy real quick. Oh, ooh. I'm trying to listen to me. I am your god. All right. Apparently, I'm not. Oh, here we go. That's why. Huzzah! There we go. That works. Awesome. Okay. All right. So I shall indeed refresh everybody's fate points at the end of an altercation, which was the end of that. All of your physical stress and mental stress goes away. So fortunately, it looks like none of you guys actually have any consequences. Oh, Kevin had one until the hatch is open. That's fine. Kevin will recover. So at the end of an altercation, you guys can clear out all your physical stress. So you guys can go ahead and uncheck all those.
Nice.
No.
So no one took any lasting damage. Congratulations.
Clear out all their stress, just physical stress.
Both stress. Well, you should have only taken physical stress, but yeah.
Okay.
I took only mental stress because that was mentally exhausting.
Didn't think you'd be wrangling a giant metal bird today?
Yeah.
All right. And as you guys head back to the Kabuto, you count your credits, which are pretty heartily. Fortunately, you guys should be good for a little while, but once again, as I said, traveling through space is quite the expense, and the Kabuto is unfortunately very, very greedy when it comes to just any valuables. You're not really sure why it functions the way it does, and why it basically just eats money effectively. It's very inconvenient. And Nara, maybe you kind of see exactly why they weren't currently using it, but all the same, you guys got a really dope ship out of it, so who cares? And in general, we'll go ahead and pause today's session there, and I'll have some more stuff prepared for you guys next week. In our leveling, you don't do this now, of course, but for next week, you guys will have another +2 to put wherever you want. And on top of that, I'll give you guys a 4th stunt slot.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
God,
for
that is
plus
heavy.
2,
Sorry, what? I was all talking.
with +2, how our skills are we able to make something now a +3 and then make something a +2?
No. So
Or-
it needs,
Sorry, go on.
so basically you have to make a square or a pyramid. If anything were to fall off, so if you have, for example, 3 +2s and 2 +1s, you can't do that because there's nothing supporting the other one, so it has to go upwards. What you can do is you can pocket a +1. So you can add, so right now you have 4 +1s and 4 +2s. That means you can't have a +2 period, because the +2, you'd have 5 +2s and 4 +1s. That doesn't work. They have to be equal, or less than. So what you can do...
So I have 4 +1s and 4 +2s.
Correct.
So can I have 3 3s and then 5 1s?
Yes. So what you could technically do is you only have 2 +3s. But if you wanted to, you could take like Provoke, Stealth, or Pilot or something. You can make that a +3, because then you'd have 3 +2s and 3 +3s. That's fine. And then you can add another +1. Or you can pocket it. But like, however you want to do it so it logically makes sense, basically. So you can definitely put a +2 to a +3, because then you'd have 3 and 3. That's perfectly fine. But you can't put a +1 to a +2, because then it would fall. Well, no, it wouldn't fall. It'd actually go up 1. So you can do that. Because rather than like, you don't necessarily add +2, so obviously you can't make Stealth go to +4. That doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, no, you
Does
could
that work what I just
technically.
said?
Let me see. So you have 3. So you have 3 +3s and 3 +2s. That's fine. And then you have 4 +1s. That's perfectly fine. You can totally do that. It's just after a while the pyramid kind of stops, which is where you need to start putting your stats elsewhere. To my knowledge, this is perfectly fine. You have to have 1 4, 3 3s, 3 2s, and then 4 1s. That's perfectly okay. And I'll leave Fate running for a little while if you guys want to tinker with it. But I'm going to pop out, obviously. And if you guys need stunts, remember, I linked in the Discord. There's a massive list of them. The various PDFs I've listed as well. There's ones for... There's like literally one called like Mecha versus Kaiju. If you want to steal some stunts from that, you're more than welcome to. The point of the book is fighting Kaijus and shit. So that's definitely something you can do if you want, of course. But yeah. Other than that, you can, of course, make stunts. They're like, hey, whenever I roll this, I can do this instead. Basically, it's any of your weak points. But adding multiple +1s will hopefully fix that. Also, I just noticed one of your stunts called Barnstormer.
Yeah, you know that.
I know, it's just really funny for the last situation. I guess you weren't storming a barn, but all the same. Gives me a giggle.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird name.
Kind of a weird name. I like it though. Anyway, regardless, that was fun. I'll prep something for you guys for next week, and because you guys got paid well, you finished your mission. You can think of another piece of gear you would like, either for yourself or for your mech.
Yeehaw.
Say it again.
You can think of another piece of gear that you would like for either yourself or for your mech, since you guys completed your mission and got paid.
Nice.
So yeah, so while you're thinking of something, you can jot it down. Once again, you can jack it from offline. The Fate Core book is actually pretty good with coming up with random ideas. A lot of them are just generic themed, like some are just literal guns, some are like demon swords. There's some sci-fi stuff in there, but you can reflavor a demon sword to a regular sword. It is what it is. But yeah, if you need help, there's plenty of stuff out there. If you're not sure, just ask me and I can probably assist you in Discord or something. I'm a little busy currently, unfortunately, but sure to find something. Anyway, we'll go ahead and pause there. That was super fun, and I'll catch you guys all next week.